left, right, open, a little dancer sequence. Yes. Welcome back to the mat. Tawny Janae here to get you into your body and to give you the spiciest inner thigh work. Hold at the bottom, come halfway up. This is it. This is the last move we do together. Are you ready to love on our inner thighs? We'll start by doing larger movements and then we'll move into some small, precise Pilates style moves. Are you ready to party? You don't need any equipment, which is super gorgeous. Just some space to boogie around. Take a deep breath. Take your feet out wide. Toes out, heels in. Another breath in. Exhale, sit into your goddess squat. Just stay here, hang out here. Try her on. So this is a nice inner thigh movement. I think we know that. If you've been practicing a long time, you've seen this movement before. It is a beautiful way to involve the glutes, but to target the inner thighs. It's a very safe way to open the inner thighs. So when we start to do those small, precise movements, your inner thigh muscles are already turned on and they're ready to work. So see if you can reach your knees a little further back in space. Yeah, like back behind you. See if you can really drive into your heels and sit a little lower. Get low. Get a little lower. How low can you go today? Start to give me pulses at your lowest depth. And I'm not talking coming all the way up and all the way down. I'm saying teeny tiny 2-inch tawny pulses. Yes, just squeezing the inner thighs. Now, that mind-body connection they talk about in yoga, that I talk about in yoga, I want you to make it here. Think about your inner thighs. You can even close your eyes. Squeeze your inner thighs. Yes, they are turned on. Turn them on even more. Yes, the burn is already happening. This is beautiful for 3. Yes, for 2. And 1. Now start to make bigger movements. Straightening the legs all the way, even engaging the quads at the top of the legs, and then sliding back down into it. Brace your core. Make sure the whole time you're leaning shoulders over hips. Yes. To keep it in the inner thighs. Get as low as you can go and come all the way up. Squeeze the quads. Get as low as you can go. Come all the way up and squeeze the quads. On the way up, think about squeezing your butt cheeks together like you're picking something up with your glorious glutes. Yes, just like that. Good for 4. Yum. For 3. Woo. Last 2. And 1, lower yourself all the way down, goddess squat. Little teeny tiny pulses again. As you pulse, an option is to lift a heel. And then the other heel. One heel lifts and then the other. Hands can be on the thighs. You can have your hands at heart center in prayer or making a clasp. It's really whatever you're into. You're just going to torch your inner thighs before we get low to the ground. Good. Keep alternating the heel lift. Just a few more for 3. Yes, for 2. And 1. Here's an isometric hold. Sit low. Stay. Close your eyes. Think about your inner thighs. Test your balance with eyes closed. Think about your inner thighs. Turn them on more. Can you sink just a little bit lower? Can you squeeze your inner thighs and charge them up just a smidge more for 3, 2, done. Open the eyes, straighten the legs, and I'll meet you on your mat. So this is another groovy way to work the inner thighs. They should be turned on. I'm already sore from a previous workout, so I really feel it. Every day is different, right? So please let me know in the comments below how you're feeling. And if you like this class. So straighten the legs all the way, right up above the hips. If they need to bend slightly, that's fine. And then take the legs out in a straddle position and come back up. So this is an absolutely gorgeous way to target the inner thighs. I want you to, as you widen the legs straight and come all the way up, if you need a slight bend, you can do it. I want you to think about keeping your feet right over your hips. So they're not coming towards your face, they're staying away. And the further away you get your heels, if they're just slightly past your hips in that direction, notice your low core, your lower abs really have to turn on. It's a beautiful thing. You have options. Choose yours for today. Keep widening the feet. And when you get to the top, I want you to cross the right leg in front of the left. Widen, cross left leg in front of the right. So now you're starting to cross your legs, right in front of left, left in front of right. And if you haven't already, engage your feet, whether that's a point or a flex or a floint. And if you're like, girl, what the hell is a floint? It's when you point at the ankle joint and flex at the toes. It's like wearing a stiletto. Good. So when you cross, you have an opportunity to engage the inner thighs even more. Maybe even do a Kegel, really trying to get the midline of the body, the inseams of the legs, the core turned on as much as humanly possible. Good. For 4. Crisscross for 3. Yum. Last 2. And 1. Hold in a straddle position. Little, teeny, tiny lifts. Lifts and lower. As you lower, I don't want you to relax totally and really dump into flexibility. I want you to stay engaged the whole time. Good. You can even close down the eyes. Little pulses, lifting up. Your core should be turned on. It's a beautiful movement. Yes. Just for 4. Long, gorgeous, bodacious rounds of breath. For 3. Straighten the legs even more. Yes. Last 2. And 1. Lift the legs all the way up. Oh my goodness. That is so nice. Give yourself a little break. Feet are down, knees at a 90-90, so the knees are bent. Start to tick-tock the knees from one side to the next. Easy peasy, baby. Just giving the inner thigh some love. And the outer. It's kind of like a hip massage, too. Such an underrated movement. Ooh, it's so good. We get to do a similar sequence on our backs again. Straddle is a beautiful way to work your split and your inner thighs. My boyfriend always says thick thighs save lives. Well, I'm saying strong inner thighs save lives. So straighten the legs up right in front of your hips, right on top. Yes, just like that. If you want more, you can bring your core even more involved by gazing at your belly button, lifting your shoulders. But this is really about the inner thighs. So start to open and close the legs once more, just like before. And really think about making your legs as straight as they will possibly go. The straighter, the better. Notice that when you straighten the legs and you bring more strength, you hunt after more strength in the legs, it somehow puts more of the targeting in the inner thighs, which is what we want. So it targets the inner thighs. The straighter the legs go. Yes. Point the toes hard or flex, whatever you're into. When you get to the top, start to cross the legs really hard. Cross the legs really hard. You can stay like this, or you can do a little crisscross at the top and open. Right, left, open. Left, right, open. A little dancer sequence. Yes. Now you're picking up the pace. So we're getting more reps in this cycle with a little crisscross, which is so fun. I'm a dancer, so we used to do these warm-ups all the time. Good. For 4. Stay with me, baby girl. For 3. Last 2. And 1. Hold at the bottom, come halfway up. Hold at the bottom, come halfway up. This is it. This is the last move we do together. So stay with me and give me everything you've got. Re-straighten the legs and soften your face. I swear when you soften your face, you smile, the brain listens, and you have a better attitude. It's just a little bit more movement. Stay with me, baby girl, for 3. For 2. Last 1, bring the legs all the way up. Bend the knees into your chest, sway side to side. You've made it to the end of the class. Make sure to foam roll and hydrate yourself. That is your quick and cute 8-minute, 8.5-minute inner thigh sequence. It's very repeatable and it's very stackable. So if you have a little bit more time, there are many more classes that I have filmed on the mat, on this platform for you. Let me know which ones you want to see more of. But like I always say, I hope you stay hydrated and healthy and happy. Have the most beautiful day. Namaste, Tani Janae.